Many people live in a cycle or basically a rat race because they don't know how to put themselves together or how to get things together and make things work for them. But in my own journey to changing my life and being able to accept things in life, I had to do a few things. In other words, I had to basically quit a few things that I found were detrimental to me. So I'm going to give you 5 things that I literally had to quit or had to change in order for me to have self-growth and basically start to level up in my life. The very first thing that I had to do was I had to start having patience. Now, patience is a virtue. I know we hear that saying all the time. People tell us to practice being patient, but if you don't literally understand what it means to be patient, it's going to be very difficult for you to accomplish anything. Because in life, patience helps you to wait when things seem like they're taking forever. So when you learn how to be patient and let nature take its course or let things take their course one by one, things tend to work out a lot better for you. The second thing was I had to learn to pray. Now, growing up, I've always believed in God. I've always been a strong follower of God. But learning how to pray and praying is two different things. When I essentially learned how to pray and I learned that, there are some things in my life that I cannot control, I basically had to take it and give it to God to let God manifest and do the things that he needed to do to make my life better. Things started to be better for me. So coupled with my patience and my prayers, a lot of things seemed to be more clear and they were more coherent once I learned how to pray. So I stopped talking as much to people, but I started praying more. That was the second thing that I did. The third thing that I had to do or I had to change in my life, I had to basically stop expecting for people to do things for me. Now let me explain to you what I meant. Many times we get frustrated because we feel like we're trying to grow and a lot of people aren't there for us. Sometimes they give us false hope or they pretend or they fool us to think that they're going to be there when the storm hits. But in reality, people have their own issues and their own lives to live. So they really can't do all the things that you need for them to do because they have to worry about their own selves. So when you learn to quit expecting or waiting on people to do things for you, it'll make your life so much easier. Okay, those are some of the lessons that I had to learn. If this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. Welcome to Team You Finance, where we talk about leveling up, we talk about finance, and we talk about self-growth. So in essence, when you essentially learn to stop depending so much on people and waiting for people to save you or always be there for you, your life tends to get a lot better. The fourth thing that I had to do is I had to basically learn to open up my mind. In other words, I had to let myself grow. And when I say open up my mind, all the things that I didn't know and I didn't learn before, I basically learned by educating myself. First thing that I did was I tried to gain some financial literacy. How did I gain financial literacy? I started reading more books. I started researching, and I always talk about my best friend Google. I started looking on Google and learning things. And I also talked to people that were older and had a lot of experience. Now, just to extend on this, when I say talking to other people that are more experienced, I didn't just stay among people that were in my own community or people that I knew. I talked to everybody from different parts of life, get different perspectives, because we're all human beings, and it doesn't matter where you're from or what it is. Struggle is struggle. All right. Talking to other people or learning different ways or different aspects in life kind of gives you one pivotal point. You learn how to take maybe a loss and make it a win later by hearing other or different perspectives. So that's exactly what I did when I learned how to start talking with other people and getting advice and gaining more wisdom from people that have been there before and have done that. All right. And the fifth thing that I did that I thought was so essential in getting, my life to change or quitting the things that weren't working for me is I basically got more skills. Now, when I say got more skills, yes, I went to elementary school, I went to high school, I went to college, I went on to getting a higher level degree. But I'll tell you, it doesn't matter how much degrees or how much certificates you have. This right here, wisdom, knowledge, is really the beginning of everything. It's a beginning of you learning how to take life easy. It's a beginning of you learning how to be a part of society, how to let things fall into place when you have knowledge and wisdom. But I also had to learn, along with my knowledge and wisdom, how to get and attain better skills. Better skills, they could have been, better mental skills, learning how to cope and how to deal with life. I got better job skills. Okay. It didn't matter how much degrees or how much certificates I had. If there was a training that I needed to take in order for me to advance and to level up, I ended up taking those trainings. I ended up getting better skills. And the other skill that I learned, as I said before, I learned how to have more people skills, how to network with people that, that were in the same, field or the same niche as me. Now, with getting advice from people, you have to be careful. Not everybody's advice is golden, but again, you have to be wise enough and discern enough to know when somebody's giving you good, adequate advice. Those were just some of the things that I learned to do. And when I learned how to do all of those skills, all of those different things, things got better for me. Right. So what I'm here to basically tell you is when you are ready to change your mindset and you quit or change certain things that you're doing, you basically start over, you retrain, you change your mindset, everything, things will fall into place. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it's easy, because if it was so easy, then everybody else would be doing it. And this is the difference between you and other people. Because you are patient, you know how to deal with things, you know how to deal with people, things eventually fall into place for you. With that said, people, I just want to let you know that I also have an ebook I wrote. It's called 10 Steps to Level Up. And these 10 steps to level up basically teaches you or tells you how to change certain things in your life, how to use the things that'll make you, grow a little bit more. These are some of the steps that I basically used in my life to change a few things. It talks about, having insurances, having certain coverages, having your pensions, having, financial literacy towards certain things, teaching you how to save and all sorts of things. These are some of the things. It's just the beginning of what I use. And to this day, I'm still using some of these steps. So if you get a moment, pick up a copy of the ebook. Again, if this content resonates with you or you find this to be meaningful in any way, please, leave your thoughts below. Please comment, share, like, subscribe to the channel. It'll really help. And to let me know exactly, how or what you've done to change certain situations. Remember, you are number one. And what you feel and what you do is ultimately what changes your life and changes, your mindset. If you are not willing to start with you and getting your stuff together or getting your life together, nobody's going to do it for you. And hence, you're always going to be tired and frustrated. When I learned all of these valuable lessons in life, I didn't let anybody or anything else frustrate me anymore, because I took control and I knew exactly what I needed to do. I wasn't a burden bearer on people anymore. I didn't bring my issues to people. I didn't wait for people to make me happy. As I said, when I learned how to pray, that's when I eventually started having better results in my life, coupled with things in realistically. All those things made me and shaped me into who I am today. So with that said, beautiful people, I hope you have a wonderful day. Again, if this message resonates or you can relate to the content, please comment, like, subscribe, and share. And with that, team, have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.